Should schools be a police-free zone? In the state of Missouri, the ACLU is urging area schools to consider just that. KCTV5's Amy Anderson spent the day talking with parents and people on both sides of the debate.
Exactly what is it that children need to thrive? Well, the ACLU says police officers in the school setting are not one of them.
Ultimately, we want our children to have access to a safe learning environment.
It's what every parent wants. But tonight, the ACLU of Missouri is urging area schools to reconsider school resource officers.
So what the studies show is that police presence in schools negatively impacts school climate. They fuel distrust and anxiety among students and contribute to the school to prison pipeline. We see that more SROs in schools correlates directly with the enrollment of Black and brown students, not violence.
Enrique says the ACLU wants to see the money used to staff officers to instead go toward adding more social workers, counselors, and nurses. She says in the state of Missouri, for every 328 students, there's only one counselor. For every 488 students, there's just one nurse. And there's only one social worker for well over 2,000 students. Mac Hardy is with the National Association of School Resource Officers and says those officers are specially trained not only just to be there when things get out of hand, but to try and prevent things from getting out of hand to begin with.
We're trying to help these students that are in these stressful, trauma-filled situations to get them help before they take a step and try to hurt themselves and hurt others along the way.
Parents we talked to say they like the idea of having more counselors on hand, but aren't sure if giving police the boot completely is the answer either.
I think both are needed. You know, I feel like resource officers will come a time where a social worker cannot do what a police officer can do, and vice versa, where a police officer may not be able to do what a social worker can do. So I would like to see a balance.
Several cities, including Minneapolis, Seattle, Denver, Boston, New York, and Chicago, are all seriously considering ending their SRO programs as well. Many of them already have. Obviously, it is a topic of conversation that's just starting in our area. Amy Anderson, KCTV5 News.
We have new information at 6 on what the return to school will look like in Wyandotte County. At 5 o'clock, we told you about Kansas City and Shawnee Mission schools. They're still deciding. But Wyandotte County agreed on a pretty extensive list of guidelines this afternoon. So let's take a look. Now, these will impact everything from the Piper District and KCK Public Schools to KU Medical Schools or KU Medical Center. So let's start with daycares. Classrooms should be kept to 25 or fewer, and anyone over 2 should wear a mask. Now, K through 12 schools will reopen at regular capacity. Sports practices are back on. Parents can choose to keep their kids at home as well. And masks are recommended for employees and students at school. Now, for higher ed, most learning will remain virtual. In-person classes may alternate students out.